Hi, I'm Breanna and I work here as a floor manager at the Boulder Bookstore, and I really love reading YA fantasy. So today I grabbed a couple of my favorite books that are really diverse in YA fantasy. And I love these because you still get awesome like dragons and witches and stuff, but you also get to experience the world through someone else's eyes, and it's fantastic. So my first book is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. She's a Chinese author, and this book is kind of like Mulan in terms of a girl wants to be a tailor, but only boys can be tailors, and so she goes in place of her father and disguises herself as a boy in a competition to be the new emperor's tailor. But along the way, she uses like magic scissors. She has to fight to be what she wants to be and keep her real identity hidden. And it's great because there's also a very enigmatic and dark and broody sorcerer who's kind of like Numair in Tamara Pierce's books, and it's lots of fun. It's got this beautiful like new fairy tale feel, so I love that. She has to make a dress from like the smile of the sun and the laughter of the moon, and it's so super cool, and lots of Chinese culture in this one. I read Cemetery Boys in a day because I couldn't put it down. So it's about Dia de Muertos and a boy living in LA. And so everyone in his family is either a brujo or bruja. And Yadriel is trans. So his family doesn't accept that he wants to be a brujo, and they still insist on seeing him as a girl. But he decides to prove to everybody that he does have the magic of a brujo and manages to summon a spirit. But the spirit is a very chaotic disaster boy named Julian, who is just the cutest, most adorable ghost. And they're trying to figure out why Julian was murdered. And so they go on this big adventure trying to figure it out. And it's got really great magic. I love the culture that's woven in around Dia de Muertos, and Yadriel talking about his experience with it and kind of what the significance of that is. But it's also great because the author himself is non-binary and trans and Latinx. So it really feel how personal this book is, from everything of Yadriel's struggle to use the bathroom, to put on his binder. And it was just an amazing, heartbreaking story, and I felt so humbled to be able to see the world through the author's eyes. And it's got great magic with spirits and ghosts. So, loved this one. And it's got a beautiful cover, which is always really nice. Star Daughter was one of the most beautiful books I've read in a long time. The prose was just so gorgeous, and kind of every sentence you have to stop and think about how good it is and just savor it. And so the author is Indian, and she was inspired to write a kind of a Hindu response to Neil Gaiman's Stardust. So Shita is the half-mortal daughter of a star, and when her starfire accidentally burns her father, she goes up to the court of the stars and must enter a competition that's kind of like a talent show, but with magic and stars, and in order to win the stars' help to heal her father. So it's really great because you have this beautiful weaving in of Hindu astronomy with their house of stars and the celestial court, and you've got this great viewing of her culture and kind of what it is to be Desi in America. Beautiful prose. Also, I highly recommend reading this on a full stomach because the food that is described in here is really good looking. The Gilded Bowls is probably one of my favorite books in the past couple years. It is slightly older, but the sequel just came out, so I'm still going to recommend it. It is set in like 1800s Paris, but an alternate world where they have the power of forging, which is kind of like magical craftsmanship. And so it's a found family that is embarking on a heist to rob one of the other families and get back the inheritance of the main character. Super diverse. There are characters who are half black. I believe one is Algerian. Someone else is struggling with being half Filipino, half Mexican. And so it's just a really diverse cast. Lots of great found family type deal. It's an older YA, and it will leave you crying and sobbing at the end because it's so good. But now there's a sequel, so you can find some happiness, hopefully, probably. Lomasona was another book I read in about a day because I couldn't put it down. It's also another beautiful cover because Manu is looking for her father. She's undocumented in America. She's an Argentinian immigrant, and the book is written by an Argentinian immigrant as well. And she's undocumented and trying to go under the radar and not be noticed, which is just kind of heartbreaking to read and experience the world as she does. But then she finds out that she belongs to a magic school where the boys are werewolves and the girls are brujas, but she discovers she's the first female werewolf. And so it's fantastic because she's fighting to establish her place and kind of buck these gender norms. And it's really great because in this magic world, she's also still undocumented and trying to not get noticed, which is kind of hard when you're the first of your kind. And so it was great, fantastic, lots of friends and family, great magic, and super fun adventure that I can't wait for the next one. So those are all my diverse YA fantasy recs. I hope you check some out and read them. If you like this video, go ahead and like it, and then you can subscribe to our channel for more recommendations.